right, and we are back. You are listening to OORadio, where we bring our great oral tradition into the 21st century. For more information, please go to www.OORadio.com. You can check us out on Twitter at www.twitter.com/OORadio, and Blog Talk Radio at www.blogtalkradio.com, /OORadio. Our call-in number again is 347-934-0126, 347-934-0126. Alafia to everyone in the chat room. We have Angelina, we have Efunbolade, we have Fayemi, we have Ifashade, Kafense, Latin Africa. We have quite a few people in our chat room. Alafia to everyone. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to join us. And we are on the line with Iyalode Yeyefini Efunbolade. You can check her website out at www.yeyefini.com. That's www.yeyefini.com. YEYEFINI. Yeyefini.com. I do pray, Iyalode, for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us. We are talking about spirituality and financial wealth. And we're going to go ahead and continue with this discussion. Iyalode, I'm going to go ahead and let you tell us where we're going to go next with this you would like to go next with this conversation.
Okay, the next one part that I want to talk about is how does your spiritual belief system affect your vision of money or of wealth? How does your spiritual belief system affect your vision of wealth? Is it a means to an end, or is it, for getting material things, or is it just for amassing it? And so in this aspect of it, I saw someone was asking, should we invest in the stock market? Someone in the chat room was asking a question like that. Should we invest money in companies or in the stock market, or what is your opinion on making financial investments? That was a question. So it's okay for me to answer that question from there?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, so that came under the topic that I was going to speak on next, which was how does your spiritual belief system affect your vision of wealth? And so in your belief system, if you believe that by praying and tithing or giving to those who don't have connects you to wealth, that's fine. But if you come from an understanding that money is something that is a reflection, again, I said, of the success of your life, and that's the reward, that's the payment, that's the reciprocity in it. In terms of if you want to invest, I would recommend here, and I'm being very personal here, so my voice is not the only voice, is that if you're going to invest money, large sums, and you're going to leave the maneuvering and the movement of that money to someone else, like in the stock market, the recommendation would be the way to keep an eye on that is through a spiritual reading, to know if, in fact, what would you invest in? Is this a solid company? And then, is there above that I can do the guarantee that whatever happens, my money is well handled. So it's not something to say, no, you shouldn't invest, because you're investing every day. You're investing in a car. You're buying something that is owned by someone else until you finish paying it off. So you're always investing. Now, if you're talking about investing in the stock market, like the question was asked, the recommendation here would be making sure that if you're turning over large sums of money to someone else that you don't know other than by the name of the company, and you're hoping that it's that's not that's taking a risk that you can't afford to lose. And so with that, you would ask for a spiritual consultation, or to get an advice, or get an astrologer, or get somebody that can give you some kind of connection to the spirit of that money. Because the money has a spirit and a vibration that is helping someone else. And so it has an energy, it has a force, it has a power. And so with that, I would recommend to get a consultation before you invest in anything, and just assume that because the name of it is whatever, that it has always had good stock, so you're going to invest in it. I would recommend that. And so in your spiritual belief system, the vision of money that you have again goes back to what is your foundation. Do you come from understanding that you've always had to struggle? Then you'll feel that you always have to struggle. And when you get a ball or a ritual or something, and that the question was asked before by Osaremi, what about a ball that costs a lot? You're asking yourself, can I afford it? So what is your religious belief about money? Is money something that you're paying, or is money something that you're exchanging, as Osaremi was asking before? If you're exchanging it, then you have to make sure that what is worth the value of what you're exchanging it for. And if it's something that, if in your belief system money makes change or affords you the possibility of success or failure in a situation, whether you have a positive or a negative reading or the ritual that's going to shift the energy, then you just get yourself focused and put it in a little kitty that every week you have a little kitty that you save your money. If you know that money is part of the exchange that is required for spiritual work, there's an exchange for the energy, because when you go to Ifa, we're going to be specific here as the other, what's his name, Ifayemi, I think is his name?
Yeah, Ifayemi.
Yes. The order of money is, that's why you give courage, is that the energy of money, when money came on earth, money was an energy. And so it was something that people used and discarded. And so there was a ritual and a ceremony that was done so that whenever you're doing any ritual and service, that money is part of the ritual, is part of making sure that, and we can say that it's so that the priest can eat and all of that, but it's actually, money is an energy, or what is an energy. And so that the energy that is exchanged is understood, that is a fair trade, that nobody's ripping anybody off, then you get it. You have to pay a legba, be it with your dues, be it with money, with your action. For every action, there's a reaction, and so you have to know that this is the currency that we're using. Again, as we said, in our political soul, money is the exchange. So in it, if you're in a culture and a system that money is the basis of it, that you have to have it, then you have something that you're putting aside just for rituals. It's like you're putting away for your car, that you have to live. We cannot continue to live above our means. We have to be in a place where we recognize that we have to be more, instead we must live beneath our means instead of above our means. Therefore, you always have the excess, that anything comes up, you can have the money and the wherewithal to take care of your ebo, your ritual, or your service, or fix your car, whatever it is. But if you're living an abundant life, then you know that that's part of life. The abundance of life is that you have it ready. And if you have a plan, if you're implementing a plan, if you know that you have a system that you go and get a reading once a month or every 3 months or whatever your routine is to get your guidance, then you have $5 or $10 or whatever it is that you have on a regular thing. There's a ball that you can do with a pumpkin, with a plastic pumpkin. But a glass pumpkin that you get. There's a ball that you do for Oshun that you can do with this. For the Odu is Ogbeshe, that you fill this pumpkin with honey, and you put it to Oshun for 5 days, and after that you take it to the river, and you wash the bowl out with the honey and the river water, and you bring that container back and you sit it to Oshun, and you put your money in it. Once you do that, you never run out of money. That is a formula that you can use. Well, the money that you're putting in there, you could just say that I'm putting the money in this pumpkin for whenever I need to get on that boat, so you're not just acting, you're not reacting. Instead, you're proactive in your spiritual development. So you're having something you automatically don't say, oh, God, I got to pay that much. I know I'm not going to be able to pay that. I'm out of this religion. Well, if you know that the exchange is a system that is part of the practice, then you have it. You become proactive more than reactive. So you have your little pumpkin that you've done your service with, and it is homeopathic, that you put that money in there and it's always going to grow, because the energy of creativity of Oshun is there, letting you know that whenever you need it, that's the wealth. That's how Oshun got her wealth. That's how Shango got his wealth, when they were giving away pumpkins, and Obada said, Obada was doing very bad, and Obada didn't have any money. And they went to the party, everybody was dressed up, and Obada came late, and Oludumare gave pumpkins to everybody. And they're like, I don't need no pumpkins. I have plenty of food. So they all left The pumpkins, when they left, Obata said, well, I'm going to take these home because my family is doing really bad, so I'm going to take all these pumpkins home. He took the pumpkins home, and when his wife cut out the first one, Obata was the wealthiest, and all of the other Irumole had to come and borrow money from him because it was a gift from Olodumare. And so we can take it on a play on words of using the pumpkin story of Obata, and then you can have the same thing that your wealth is in a pumpkin. So if you're in a system that money is an exchange that is used for reciprocity or the process, or you want to put the calories down that represents the money or whatever, then you have that. You have that already ready just for Ebo, just for ritual. You know the year is coming and you're going to need a New Year reading. I recommend to everyone to get consultations for the year. For those of you, or get your astrology, whatever it is. For those of you that are not involved in that are on this broadcast, go to someone that has knowledge, which is called the sage. If you're going to invest, you don't go to an orthopedic specialist. You go to an investment banker. If you're going to buy a house, you go to someone who is involved. So you go to the specialist. And if you're talking about trying to find out something that's going to align your spirit, that you will be able to be abundantly blessed,
So
then you see the things that's stopping you from being abundant. Sorry?
Can you give us the instructions one more time for that pumpkin Ebo?
Oh, you take the you get a like a ceramic pumpkin. You know that they have them doing Halloween and stuff, and people get them and put them in their windows and all of that stuff.
The ceramic pumpkin.
Yeah, this is the time to get your pumpkins because they have them in plastic, ceramic, all kinds of stuff because October is coming. And you get that ceramic pumpkin and you fill it with honey and you send it to Oshun. If you don't have an Oshun activated shrine, then you create a place for Oshun. You put a nice little piece of white cloth, you put a nice little candle, you pour some libation and water and invoke the energy of Oshun. Oshun lives in you. Oshun, the energy of creativity is in all of us. That is what the young man was speaking, Ifa, I think it's Iyalode, was speaking about in terms of, of the power of the Orisha was in using Odu. But if you don't have a shrine and you don't know anything about Odu, it still works because you have Oshun inside.